I have very personal matters, but I need your sympathetic and sincere advice. I have been married for 8 months, and for the last 3 months, I have been separated from my husband. There isn't just one reason for the separation, there are many. It was agreed at the time of the marriage that it would be simple, with very few guests. By very few, it was meant only immediate family members, but I didn't know. After the wedding, I found out that none of my husband's relatives even knew about the marriage. My husband cleverly kept it a secret from his relatives, while everyone on my side attended the wedding. I was told that my husband has a second marriage because his first wife left him due to being very free-spirited and a gold digger. I had also been married before, but that ended before the ceremony due to family disputes. Perhaps that's why my parents rushed into my second marriage without asking questions. Throughout the wedding, his behavior was strange, extreme stinginess. So I told my mum not to give me any jewelry or gifts, and to give them to me later because people were behaving oddly. I lived in another city with my husband, who was extremely toxic. He gave me a gold necklace, claiming it was gold, but when I developed an allergy on my neck, I discovered it was fake from China. I was deeply hurt by the value placed on such an important gift. When I asked about it, he accused me of being a gold digger and materialistic, saying I broke his heart and demanded an apology. That day, he made me cry for 7 hours and argued a lot. To end the argument, I apologized, but he insisted that I swear an oath while apologizing. He also had a permanent contraception device implanted in me, saying I wouldn't be able to have children for 3 years. I should have firmly said no, the mistake was mine for agreeing to everything. On the second day of our marriage, he casually told me that over the past 10 years, he had so many physical relationships with girls that he couldn't even remember their numbers. He used to deceive them into marriage and then leave them. I thought it was a joke and couldn't believe it, but it turned out to be true. He even showed me pictures of some of those girls and other evidence. I was incredibly hurt. I felt shattered. I wanted to go back to my mum's house right away, but now I was married. My husband claimed he had repented, that he prayed 5 times a day, offered tahajjud prayers, and read the Quran. But I never felt any shame in his words about his past. Rather, he expressed pride in it. I went to work, came home at 4, did all the cleaning, laundry, and dishes myself. Frustrated with the stress of work and household chores, I requested to hire a house help to manage half the work. He refused. When I offered to pay for it myself, he still wouldn't agree, saying that since I knew about the marriage, I should also take responsibility. He visited our house a couple of times, and even then, he behaved rudely towards my parents. He followed me everywhere secretly. Once, he even hacked my location without me knowing. His behavior made me think that the wife who left him might not have been the problem. Perhaps he was the issue. I found her contact and learned that he had a wife before me, meaning I was his third wife. This was the last straw for me. I thought, what am I to a person for whom marriage is a joke and who has used so many girls? I returned to my mum's house and my parents supported me, saying I should get a divorce from him. But on the day of the divorce, I cried and said I didn't want a divorce. I wanted to stay with him. I asked for a year's time and to get a signed stamp paper stating that he wouldn't divorce me later, or else I would have to pay a significant amount in maintenance. I asked him to give me some pocket money as well. He immediately agreed to sign, but now 3 months have passed and he hasn't signed anything. He is just stalling, hoping I will return. My parents have suggested that I announce the marriage among relatives and bring a few people, like my uncle and brother-in-law, to take me back. But he refuses to sign the stamp paper, make the marriage public among relatives, or bring any relatives to our house. Perhaps he fears that if the family finds out about his third marriage, especially one that was kept secret, it would damage his reputation. Maybe he plans to keep me as a secret wife in the future as well. Ultimately, he has to reveal it at some point. When he wants to keep me and I want to return, there should be no problem in bringing relatives to come and take me back. Yet, he only makes emotional statements, saying to come back or he'll harm himself, which I know he won't do. He tells me he pays all the bills, ensures we have fruits at home, provides good food, and asks me what more I need. Is this really all there is? I don't understand who would marry a girl who is in a third marriage. I am also afraid of the plots in a joint family system. I have already been deceived once. Now I fear my own fate. I don't know what to do. My parents have said that if I want to return to my husband, I can happily go back. But whatever he does to me, I will have to endure, as they will have no relation with him anymore, and my connection with them will end. If I get a divorce, I still won't know what will happen to me. It feels like my parents only think of themselves, believing that if their daughter stays at home, she will take care of them, since there is no earning son or anyone else.
Despite all this, I still have a deep attachment to my husband because I am human. When you spend time with someone and are married to them, it's natural to develop feelings of love. If I take a divorce, I will be back to square one. Having already been hurt once, I might not be able to trust anyone again. And once you have fallen for the wrong person, you might not fall for anyone else again. Because of these fears and overthinking, I have started to get white hair at the age of 23. For me, it feels like there's a pit ahead and a chasm behind. What should I do?